Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Welcome to our channel. Today's video, we'll be talking about Kundalini awakening basics and essentially the path of yoga to awaken the Kundalini. Just chanted a little mantra there that is Asatoma Satgamaya, meaning lead us from untruth to truth, lead us from darkness into light, lead us from death into the bliss of eternal life. Om, peace, peace, peace. And mantra is one of those things traditionally used to awaken the Kundalini. So in today's video, I'll be talking once again about Kundalini awakening. This is a path we've been on for about 10 years in our yogic practice. And there's many different ways to awaken the Kundalini. I'm not here to say which way is right, which way is wrong, but there are ways in the West taught as Kundalini Yoga, which is a new age version of that practice, as taught by Yogi Bhajan and other Sikhs, and that is not the path of Kundalini that I'm teaching from. The lineage we teach from is more along the lines of Kriya and Babaji, Yogananda, as well as Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So encompassing these different aspects of our energy is the path of Kundalini. Now, what is Kundalini? Kundalini is the divine energy that resides in the base of our spine, sometimes known as Shakti, or the dynamic life force, the feminine principle. And Kundalini awakening is all about awakening this divine energy from the root chakra and ascending up the 7 chakras into the third eye to reach the crown chakra, where we merge with the divine. The divine is God, union, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, whatever words you want to give to that divine union. This is the path of Kundalini awakening, and we have many different ways to get there. So when it comes to what traditional yoga in the West is viewed as asana, mainly the practice of postures, the movement of the body, the movement of energy, when we get into the deeper aspects of Kundalini Yoga, we realize it's much more than just doing stretches, whereas this is a part of our practice. This is a part of everyone's yoga practice, and it should be, but it's not the goal. The goal is not to be able to do fancy shapes and headstands and all that sort of stuff. While that has benefits to it, that's not the way to activate Kundalini, as you don't need to do any of that actually to awaken it. Some people experience a spontaneous awakening. This can be triggered through psychedelics, this could be triggered through traumatic experiences, this could be triggered through religious experiences, it could be triggered through a whole lot of different ways. So like I said, there's not a one-size-fits-all for Kundalini, but the path of yoga as a whole, encompassing all these different layers, Bhakti, Kriya, the Hatha and Raja Yoga, the eightfold path of Patanjali, as well as Jnana Yoga, or the knowing, the knowledge of yoga. All of these help us access higher states of consciousness to reach the higher points of energy in the spine to get to the third eye. And everyone talks about the third eye and the spiritual experiences that you can have once you get there. But even that can be a distraction from the true purpose, which is to merge with God in everything, which is to merge with the divine in yourself, to realize that God resides within each of us and within all of creation, rather than one or the other, as religion teaches us that there's only a God out there that we have to worship. That will be like Bhakti Yoga, where you live in devotion to God. The path that Yeshua spoke of a lot of was Bhakti Yoga, where you are in divine union in service to God, which is also karma yoga. But you can see how in religion there's many aspects of yoga, but what has been taken out is that divine union that is also inside of us. Just like Jesus or Yeshua said, the kingdom of heaven is within, and everyone thinks it's a place we're going to, when in truth, we can access heaven or bliss or a connection to God right here and now, where we are from within. And you don't need an external experience or an external stimulus to get there. So this is where Kundalini becomes a living path. So when we get into the asanas, this is the beginning. This is getting the body to become stable enough to reach a meditative state, to be able to sit for long periods of time, to build up the energy within the system. And then we can move on into meditation and getting to stillness and the breath, using the breath work, pranayama, to bring about Kundalini awakening. And then we can get into bhakti, which is mantra, chanting, singing devotional hymns, having that love and devotion to God in our hearts. And this also brings about a profound change of our experience from whatever perspective you're approaching it from. And when we get to the higher stages of Kundalini, this is when you start to experience your reality starts to shift. You start to realize how your thoughts create reality, how people talk about manifestation. And this is a higher stage of Kundalini. You don't want to just jump right into manifestation without clearing the mind, without cleansing the mind, because you can start attracting the wrong things. So I'm here to use my experience throughout the years to help others along the path, to help others avoid those mistakes that can happen when you haven't prepared properly through the various stages of yoga, the various limbs. Because when we combine the system as a whole, we get the most benefits, rather than in the West. The New Age Kundalini yoga that's taught is all about blasting the Kundalini opening right there, then and there. You could have an experience your very first time. But a lot of people talk about the downside of the psychosis, the fear, the trauma, the things that they haven't worked through coming to the surface. And that's not to say that you'll never experience these things on a Kundalini journey, but how you experience them, how you get through them, this is where it starts to actually make sense. That you want to take your time. You want to view this as a lifelong journey. So what I teach and what I offer in my one-on-one lessons is a step-by-step process where we'll start with the simplicity of asana, posture, breathing, proper breathing, a bit of mantra, a bit of simple mantra, and then we'll get to the point where we can take that further and deeper and increase the intensity. And once you get to that stage where the Kundalini starts raising up the higher vertebrae of the spine, and this energy, this is also your sexual energy, this is transmuting the sexual energy. So it requires discipline, it requires abstinence, even at times fasting, prayer. It requires taking the lower energies of the lower chakras and raising them, purifying the emotions, the emotional body, purifying the senses, the five senses, the food that we eat, the things that we drink, the music and things that we consume, the things that we look at with our eyes, the media that we consume, because we have so much information in today's day and age with technology, we can consume all the wrong things. And on a Kundalini awakening, you become more susceptible to these things because your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind becomes super conscious. Your brain, you cross the conscious barrier of your brain and you begin to absorb information rapidly, and you can process hyper rapidly as well. And that's where it can get dangerous. So you want to make sure you're monitoring what you consume. You're monitoring the information, that you're choosing to engage in loving connections. And if you have certain connections, whether family, friends, relationships, that are in those lower chakras of energy, it's not to say you'll never experience those lower chakras. But once you start raising into the higher frequencies of the higher chakras, you want to stay in these higher chakras. You'll realize those things that once brought you joy or pleasure or fulfillment don't really bring that anymore, that you find that within your own space. You may just like to be alone. You may like to just go out into nature and do your own thing, or connect with a few people that can get on that wavelength, and not everyone can. And not everyone's ready for that full experience. And that's why we offer a step-by-step process and guidance along the way. So this is just a basic rundown of the layers that we'll be encompassing in this channel, and I hope that this video could at least give an idea of some of the things you'll experience. You'll start to experience bliss, Satchit Ananda, as it was called, true consciousness, bliss, the true self. Our true consciousness is one of bliss awareness, where we operate from bliss from within. Once again, that kingdom of heaven from within, and experience the joy, a profound joy, without needing an external engagement or an external validation for that joy. It's almost as if you try to share this joy with others. You try to tell people your experiences, and that's when you start to lose the experience, because others have not experienced that. We all seek it in our own ways, and I'm no better. I'm young. I'm still learning as well. But on this journey, I've realized that the more I try to explain this to other people, the more it seems that there's a disconnect between us, because they haven't experienced that. And we all are seeking pleasure and bliss in our own ways, so to each their own. But once you realize that God is the source of bliss, that God is the source of love, that God is the source of consciousness, you'll want to seek that in as many ways as you can. And that will be your daily path. It doesn't mean you have to totally renounce everything and be an ascetic in the mountains, and you can do that if you'd like to. But that's not the point of life. The point of life is to share this gift, to find the people, to create the spaces where we can share these things. So you learn also to just be comfortable being on your own. You learn to walk to the beat of your own drum, so to speak. As I'm looking at my shirt, so Led Zeppelin play on words like they're lead and Zeppelin, you know, the band. But just funny, like a rock band, you learn to play to your own tune. And you realize that not everyone's going to play to that tune. Not everyone's going to like that tune. And that's okay. That's part of self-realization, that you realize the indwelling self is your true being, your true awareness, your true consciousness. In this world, what we could call Maya, or the illusion, nowadays they call it the Matrix, you know, the Matrix movie. And it's this world of form, this world of matter, which is also beautiful. You know, there's some traditions in yoga that say, oh, Maya is just an illusion, and renounce it all, and, you know, go away from the world and just be an aesthetic and just practice sadhana, practice. And in today's, especially in the Western or civilized world, that's not really an option we have. We still have to go to work. We still have to commune with others. We still have to, you know, be a part of something if we choose to. So that's where we learn to carry this vibration from within. And even if others don't understand it, we do our best to reach people at the level they're at. We do our best to find that common ground. And if there is a dissonance, there is a disconnect of someone opposing this energy, you know, because they're so wrapped into Maya, they're so wrapped into the illusion of matter rather than the formlessness of spirit, then we accept that. We can't change people. We're not here to change people or conform to people. We're here to offer that vibration, and just by us being in this vibration, just by us awakening our Kundalini and bringing it to the heart in devotion and bhakti, in service to others, in service to the divine self and God in us all, then we start to see that that's all it takes to shift others. Just that slight difference in awareness and vibration that we can bring, just that slight difference can start to change things. It changes our environment. It changes the way people perceive. And like I said, not everyone's going to accept you. Not everyone's going to accept this change in you. And that's something you have to come to terms with. And when you come to terms with it, you start to become much more happy and free on your own. So this is just a little video, a little bit of encouragement to anyone on their journey that may have had a Kundalini experience. You can reach out to me in the description for a one-on-one session for guidance, or a one-on-one yoga practice where we can begin going through the layers, deprogramming and reprogramming, re-accessing these states of consciousness, chakra by chakra, energetic center by energetic center, spinal column by spinal column, up the 33 vertebrae, until we reach that pinnacle and start to see God in the pineal gland. We start to see the reality for what it is with an open third eye. So if that's something you're looking for, you can book a basic session or a more advanced session. It's It's $30 an hour, $60 for 2 hours. You can also book a Reiki healing session. We're an Usui Reiki master. We do distance healings as well as in person for about an hour to 2 hours for that as well, for $50 flat on that rate. And this is just our way to extend our practices and to give back, and to have that equal exchange. So don't be afraid to invest in your healing journey. We invest in so many things. We invest in media, we invest in food, we invest in bug on me. We invest in so many things outside of ourselves to bring us joy, and they never bring that lasting joy and happiness that only a connection to God and spirit and to our spirituality can bring through a Kundalini awakening, through yoga. So if that's something you're interested in, please reach out to us. I'd be happy to get started and to answer any questions you have as well for your journey. I look forward to speaking with you all soon, and I'll be making lots more videos, so stay tuned here. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications bell for all new videos, and I will see you so soon. Namaste. Om Shanti. Peace.